Disney calls on the Guardians to save Marvel Studios from its recent box office hell. But is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 a middle finger? Or is it a fond farewell? What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Glad you stopped by. And if you're new, hey, grab a seat and stay a while. Do me a couple favors first. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Then go next door. Ring that bell. Make sure it says all so you know when the next video pops up. Hit that like button. And before you head out, drop a comment. And if you're one of the regulars here, welcome back for another round. I ask that you also hit that like button. And before you leave, drop a comment. YouTube does love the comments. And of course, share the video out on all the socials. Okay, check out the merch store, the playlist, the feature channels. All just helps out the channel. Also wanted to give a shout out to the Salty Nerd Podcast. If you know anything what's been going on, their studio got robbed and they have a GoFundMe page started. I'm going to leave a link down to that in the description. So if you can, help them out. They're the ones who got me started on this little journey here. So let's give it back to the Salty Nerd Podcast. Okay. The end of an era is here. The final installment of James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy films for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. James Gunn, as we know, is now the co-CEO over at DC Studios, and many of the cast, you got Dave, you got Zoe, Karen, and Chris, their contracts are up, and pretty much they're not going to be coming back to Disney Marvel. So this is truly the end of an era. So I went into this film and I was really expecting one of two things. I was expecting either a heartfelt thank you and goodbye to the fans, or a complete fuck off to Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, and Disney. But however, I am happy to say that this was the former, not the latter. And for me, this film really delivered in a lot of ways. Reviews overall have been mixed, but I want to tell you what I did not like about this film, and what I really did like about this film, and what I think going forward. So we're going to talk about the things I did not like first. Adam Warlock. A character that is completely wasted in this film. A character when, if you go by the comics and know what his story is, he should have been in Phase 3. This was a vital character in the Infinity Gauntlet saga. Instead, what we get is this overpowered man-child whose really only purpose was for a Deus Ex Machina rescue. So, unnecessary and should have been in Phase 3. Just my thoughts. I also had an issue with the first act, where this was some of the scenes were drawn out a little too long, could have tightened them up, and there was a lot of James Gunn's personal playlist really wedged into the first act, and it kind of bogged it down and almost took me out of it. However, the second act, it picked up steam, and by the third act, I was really enjoying myself, and I'm going to go over the stuff I really did like about this film. First one, the High Evolutionary. A villain who's strictly a villain. There's no sympathy, there's no relatability, he's not misunderstood. No, this guy is a homicidal maniac genius who is trying to achieve something that is unattainable, perfection, and he's that way through the entire film. It is so refreshing to see a villain just be a villain. Yes, there is some of the standard Marvel humor in this, which Guardians kind of started, But I really liked the dynamic between Kraglin and Cosmo, and the voice work of Maria Akalova, as far as her performance as Cosmo, just sells it completely. Because we all know Cosmo is a good dog. I like the fact that this film was isolated. As I said a few weeks ago, that one of this film's strengths is this film is an island. It has no connection to Phase Bore, Phase Nosedive, or any of the MCU storylines. Emotions. Oh my God. Emotions going crazy here, especially in this third act. And this film really tugged at some heartstrings, and there are some really good examples here. And again, spoilers ahead, just so you know. Okay, if I didn't warn you, you're warned now, especially here. The scene where Rocket flatlines, and Chris Pratt gives an amazing emotional performance there. At the end, when Nebula says that Drax was not made to be a destroyer, but he was made to be a dad. And another one, when Rocket's friend Lila, when they're trying to escape, is killed. And I find myself in tears over a CGI cybernetic otter. What have you done to me, James Gunn? Wonderful. There was some expectations were subverted, but actually in a good way. Take notes, Ruin Johnson, you round-headed simpleton. Because a lot of folks expected Peter and Gamora to get back together. Well, that didn't happen. Peter has to learn, needed to learn this lesson, that his Gamora is gone. And this is, as he goes through this journey throughout out the film, it then brings him to the realization that my Gamora's gone, but my grandfather is still alive and doesn't know that I'm alive. And so that brings that full circle. And speaking of full circle, as I just said, the first Guardians film started off with Peter and his grandfather, and the first musical number was Redbone's "Come and Get Your Love." Well, in the final scenes, Peter reunites with his grandfather back on Earth. It's a very heartwarming scene. And then we have Rocket, who is the new team leader of the Guardians, and they're about to start their first mission, and Rocket plays a song, and it's Redbone, "Come and Get Your Love." So bringing it full circle. Okay, final thoughts on this. I know everyone's going to be asking, especially me, because of how I view things. Is this film going to be successful? I don't think so. This film has a massive total price tag, and unless this thing has amazing word of mouth, becoming to that point to where it is break even or profitable seems very unlikely. And this is not the fault of this film. This is the fault of the brand damage that Marvel has done to their own IP. But we'll talk about that on Friday. So, but I really enjoyed this film. I highly recommend this film. Out of 10, this is an easy 7. So definitely, in my opinion, check out Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And yeah, there we go, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Check me out Thursday. I will be on with Roman of the Empire, talking about the silliness in Hollywood, and there's a lot of it. Also, check me out Friday over on Legion Talk, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, talking Friday night's Royal Rumble, just recapping the week in pop culture. Thanks again for stopping by, folks. Quick reminder before you head out, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, hey, Thanks for sticking around this long. I appreciate that. I will see you Friday, and have a great week. Always have fun. Hashtag keep talking, and always keep that smile on your face. Toodles.